Happy Friday, everybody. I'm Nick Slavik. I'm the proprietor of the Nick Slavik Painting and Restoration Company. I'm also the host of this show, Ask a Painter Live. It's a weekly live Facebook show where I use my over 2 decades of experience as a painter, craftsman, colorist, lover of houses, wallpaper hanger, all that good stuff, to answer any of your questions, whether you're a pro or a homeowner. And today, I'm going to keep it short because, as you can imagine, there's not that great a signal out here on this tropical island. But I'm going to be talking about micro struggle versus meaningful struggle today, and it all stems from a question from the PDCA. First, I'm going to cover a few things, though. I am here on North Captiva Island, this beautiful kind of wilderness retreat here. There's a couple hundred homes on one end of the island, but most of the island is a nature retreat, a state park. So we got miles and miles of uninterrupted, beautiful beaches, and I think there's probably maybe a handful of people here right now, and I bring the family every year, and we just mix it up with critters out here. So as soon as I get back here, me and the apprentices are packing up, and we're going to live in a surrounding town a little bit a ways from mine, and we're going to be restoring a 3-story brick Victorian mansion, so you guys can follow along there. Let's see what else we got going on. Oh yeah, in a couple weeks time, the PDCA, the Painting and Decorating Contractors of America, is going to be putting on a craftsmanship forum. So it's a very focused group of people who are interested in preserving and continuing the craft that we're all in right now. And I will actually be giving a master's class titled The Perfect Kitchen then, where we go in depth, a couple hours worth of science on how to enamel your millwork, kitchen cabinets, things like that. So that'll be a fun one. Look for some updates on that. As soon as I get back and settled, I will do my annual cabinet and trim enameling Ask a Painter show. I just need to get back to normal life here one of these days and get that going. So I thought I'd, before we get into the contractor question of the week here, I thought I would sort of tell you an interesting story. You guys are familiar with these. These are my mugs, handmade down in New Ulm, Minnesota by a lady. For people normally that ask questions for this, and I use it, I send you a mug, I send you some swag, things like that. This mug is a very special mug because I found it out here. Long story, my family has been coming out here for 7 or 8 years now. In our first couple of years out here, we met the owners of a couple houses, and they had a long history on the island. Their dad was a sheriff out here. They knew the entire history of the island, so they were out here. They clued us into everything. There was a house next door to where we were staying. This sort of hermit fellow lived in. I guess his family had this old, vacation retreat here. And when they passed, they kind of left it to him. And he basically just lived on the island, eating fish. And everything I know about fishing out here sort of stemmed from him. So, the next years I came out, I was so appreciative of him. He let me use a lot of his sand flea rakes and cast nets, and my family ate a lot of fish thanks to this guy. So we came out here this year, and I noticed that his house was either empty or being renovated. So I walked over to take a look, see if he was there, say hi, see if there was anything we could get him. And the house was gone and abandoned. And there was an old beach catamaran out on his property. And so I just gave a quick walk around to see if there was any sign of him. And I found this from 7 or 8 years ago. Turns out the guy had passed a couple of years ago, maybe a year or two ago here, of a heart attack. And the house is now changed hands. And I found this sitting out on the catamaran, the mug that I gave him. There's really nothing left of his here, minus a little bit of trash, catamaran, and this mug. So interesting story about this one. One of the original Mug Club members from 7 or 8 years ago. Very interesting story. But I'm going to adjust this here, get out my notes. Okay, so PDCA contractor question of the week. Kylie P. from Michigan. She writes, I'm starting a painting company. Can you give me suggestions for tape, brushes, rollers, ladders, etc.? What about finding work? And this is a very valid